dismissed every accomplishment I've made. You've talked about my father. Well, you call me an entitled millennial, I call you a carny succubus, because the dirty secret about you, the dirty secret is you need this generation more than it needs you.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe. And this is the New World Podcast. And we're talking about Monday Night Raw, June 16th, 2025. Corey and Cole and commentary. No Pat again. We're in Green Bay. Cheeseheads at the Resch Center, I believe it's called. But I'm sorry that this is a day late. I apologize. I just had to think a lot about this show because there's something in the show that happens that really just pissed me off because we all knew it was coming. But let's break it down first. Let's just jump right on it. Okay, we're trying to build to Night of Champions, Saturday Night Main Event, Evolution, all these things coming up, and then in about a month and a half or so, we have SummerSlam. So a lot to build up to. We started with Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan comes out with Dom. She wants her championship back. She wants her rematch. She wants this and that. She talks about Nikki coming to the ring, how she awesomely just was like, you don't have a man, Liv being Liv. I felt like this was the Liv that I come to. I like Liv. I do really like Liv. I think she's an MVP of a lot of things, especially a lot of matches and stuff like that. I think she's very talented, but this is just very cookie cutter dry Liv. Io comes out, and they go back and forth and whatnot, and Liv goes, give me the championship. Just give me the championship. And Io's like, okay, gives her the championship and beats her up. Boom. That's how we start Raw. Then before the first Queen of the Ring qualifier match, not qualifier match, tournament bracket here for the first round, Liv tells Raquel, you better win this one. You better go beat somebody up. And Raquel's like, yeah! But that's not the case. We have Ivy versus Stephanie versus Raquel versus Asuka, the returning Asuka back. Oh, man. She looked great. The makeup and everything like that, man. I was like, yeah. And she looked like she was on fire in that ring. Got a knee brace and everything. But this was a really good match to start off the night. I had a lot of fun with this. But man, it's just cool to see Asuka back. And Asuka winning because Rhea Ripley pulls Raquel out of the match. She's like, hey, you cost me, I'm going to cost you. This is what's going to happen. You don't mess with me without repercussions. Okay, Raquel? But Asuka gets the win. Gets an interview with Kathy after. And basically, no one's ready for Asuka. We were not ready for Asuka. Welcome back. That's all I can say is welcome back indeed. I'm very excited about where we're going to go with Asuka in these rounds. We got the semifinals, then we got the finals at Night of Champions, June 28th, sorry. Not this Saturday, next Saturday. And I get to watch it before work. Woohoo! We get some Judgment Day Clubhouse, Raquel on the couch. She's like, I'm so hurt. And Liv's not happy. She got humiliated, but she has a match later tonight, which doesn't really end up in her favor, sadly. And yeah, but she's mad at Raquel. Raquel's like, but Finn's there with that grin of his. He's just like, oh, look, things are falling apart. This is great. But we have all these factors moving in here, trying to build to these shows and whatnot that are coming up, especially Night of Champions. I think that being the first one on the list of being priority. And speaking of priority, hold on. Okay, my boy Gunther. Yes, I love Gunther. Don't get me wrong. This isn't his fault. I love the fact that he is world champ. But the fact that we had to take Jay's championship reign away just so we can get to this match. This match didn't even need the championship at all. Yeah. Here comes Goldberg. You're next. Yeah. I'm like, I even wrote on the paper here, barf. As Saturday Night Main Event, Gunther will put up the world title against Goldberg. Yeah. I think Gunther made a nice little line that made me like go, okay, was what he said, I'll spare 3 minutes of my time, and because Goldberg has short matches anyway, the man doesn't go to distance because he's Goldberg, and I hope to God he doesn't win. And I was telling my wife, I was like, you don't want to make I think I said this before, because when I was talking about the rumors when it first was circling the round of news and stuff like that, I was like, man, you know what would make this match even better is if Bret Hart was the special guest referee. That would make this match even better. But yeah, we finally got Gunther and Goldberg, and which is funny because I'm just like, this type of match didn't even need the title at all. So the fact that they stripped Jay of this just pisses me off even more, because Jay's my champ, Cody's my champ, and now if Goldberg wins this, god damn it, dude. His last ride, whatever. Ugh, barf. We got JD versus AJ Styles. Really fun match. The first time these two ever wrestled. And, man, it was fun, man. It was really, really fun. Like I knew AJ Styles and JD was going to be a good match. But, of course, you got Dom and you got Finn and everything. All these things going on. But AJ Styles gets the win over Big Head Boy. But, no, these two, when I saw this, I was like, oh, JD versus AJ. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Two great styles, of each wrestler. Like, we're going to get something great. We're going to get something really, really good out of this. And we did. We got AJ Styles for the win and 0 for Finn. Sorry, JD. Then we have Tozawa, Maxine, Natalya, and Sheamus backstage. Tozawa tells Sheamus, because Sheamus is in the main event for the King of the Ring qualifying, first round, could say qualifying match. First round of the King of the Ring. And Tozawa tells Sheamus to kick Rusev's ass. And Sheamus is like, you bet, pal. That's what I'm going to do. Then Xavier. I got to talk about this real quick. In a pimp suit. I was like, what's going on with this? And what sucks is we went to go see the movie The Life of Chuck. Really great movie. Really, really good movie. Based off a short story by Stephen King. You should go check it out. That's my only plug for that. But we missed Raw. And when we came back, we did the replay. And I got to say, why in the world, Peacock, can Netflix have the replay on with takes out the commercial breaks all within seconds of them stop being live? Like, literally, Peacock takes forever for the replay for the pay-per-view. And I look at Netflix, and I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, here you go. Here's the product. I'm like, oh, well, thank you, Netflix. But in this rewatch, because I saw Xavier in the pimp suit in the background, I was like, okay, I'm excited to see the New Day. They did not make the main cut of the show. I'm guessing they were on the commercial parts, the little 3-minute mark in the corner and whatnot, which I was like, oh, I don't get no New Day except for that quick Xavier, background and that luscious suit. He's pimping. Xavier's pimping, man. We got Bayley, who's back, and very passionate promo, man. I gotta say, this was just awesome. I gotta say, this is my moment of the night, because Bayley's passionate, calls out Becky. Becky comes out. You got these two who started the evolution of the women's division, bringing it to full front of what it is today. Like, I can't wait to talk about NXT, because we got the Evolution pay-per-view again. Like, all this stuff, these two I look up to very, very much, man. And these two can make a very great rivalry. And Becky, they're going to have a match next week, which I'm very excited about. Because Bayley's like, Becky's like, you want to fight me? Yeah, next week. Without this, you don't need to fight me this. But of course, you get a little bit of a scuffle. And then we'll get to this real quick. I'll come back to this. But we have Nick is backstage with AJ. And AJ's going to get his Intercontinental Championship match at Night of Champions against Dom, which I was like, ooh, that's going to be good. And Bayley comes in, and Nick Aldis is like, you know what? Since you were taken out of WrestleMania, Becky did this and that. Next week will be an Intercontinental Championship match. And I was like, ooh. And in that, Bailey's like, thank you. Then she sees Lyra, and Lyra's in the corner all pouting. You get it, and Bailey's like, hey, I gotta do me, bro. And Lyra's like, all right. Well, if you win that championship, I gotta do me too. And Bailey's like, all right. So Lyra's just like pouting lip. But before this, we had Kathy with Jay. Jay Uso. He's in the main event tonight as well. I'm rooting for him. But yeah, Liv versus Kyrie. Not really. Liv got hurt immediately in this match. Ended in no contest. And poor Liv, I guess she dislocated her shoulder doing coming down on the face bump. And they played it back, and you can see, like, Liv just automatically rolls out of the ring, and she's just like, oh, hell no. So this match ended really quick. But, yeah, dislocated shoulder for Liv, and I heard that her getting hurt changed up a lot of things for the Evolution pay-per-view coming up, because I guess there's a lot of plans here and there to get Liv possibly versus Io. So, but I don't know how long Liv will be out. I don't know how severe this dislocated shoulder is. So we shall see, and there's a plane going by. But yeah, so poor Liv, I hope you get well soon. Like I said, I like you. I think you're very talented. I think Liv, she's an MVP player when it comes down to when she gets in matches and stuff like that. So, and I hope that, Kyrie doesn't feel bad about this at all, just because, things happen, and it just happens. So Liv, get well soon. We got a Cena Punk package for their match at Night of Champions, June 28th. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. You had to have this match. I would rather have had it at Money in the Bank or SummerSlam, but we're having it here. We have Sammy and Cross backstage. God damn. So tired of Cross. I am very tired of this. I just don't care. I'm like, yeah, dog, just no more of this, please. King of the Ring, right here. Sheamus versus Bronson versus Jay versus Rusev. Match of the night. Holy crap. Come on, man. Braun comes out, Sammy comes out, Penta comes out, LA comes out, all this resulting into Jay getting the win, and then Seth comes out, then Cody comes out. I was like, oh my God. Think about it. Look, I named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. But this match was awesome. This 4-way was badass, back and forth. You're building something with Sheamus and Rusev, and we want Jay, Jay. But after all the dust settles, it's Cody and Jay in the ring after they chase off Seth and whatnot. It's coming down to Jay versus Cody in the semifinals for this King of the Ring. And we all know that Cody's going to be the new King of the Ring. But I'm just like, damn. You had to pit Cody and Jay against each other. Son of a bitch. And that's the way we end the night, man. And I hope it's a really great match between Jay Uso and Cody. So, yeah. Good Raw. I had a lot of fun. Moment of the night, like I said, was Bayley's very passionate promo. Very, very passionate promo. And her and Becky are going to tear down the house. Match of the night was the main event itself. Sheamus versus Bronson versus Jay versus Rusev, with Jay getting the win. Bullshit moment of the night was Gunther and Goldberg. I haven't had a bullshit moment in a while. So right there. But yeah, really great show. The first match of the night, Ivy, Stephanie versus Raquel and Asuka, was awesome. And welcome back, Asuka. That was a good moment too. But yeah, really great stuff. I give this Raw a solid 4 out of 5. They lose that point because of Gunther Goldberg. Yeah. All right, y'all. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe.
Share it to grandma. Share it to grandpa. Show the bum down to Walmart. I am King Media Sexy Ninja. Remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Because you're next.